to my podcast. My name is Najwa Putri Masayu Maharani. My student number is 123231134. And today I want to invite you to explore the history of Great Britain versus China, a history of the Opium Wars. This is so crucial moment that focuses not only on the drug trade but also on domination, colonialism, and how a single conflict can change the fate of a nation for years to come. Okay, I will start with the video that will be discussed in this podcast, Great Britain versus China, a history of the Opium Wars. The video recounts how Britain and China ended up at a war over the opium trade. This commodity was very profitable for British merchants, but it ruined the life of many in China. From the image and the story, it's clear that British weapons and technology were far more advanced, leaving China in a much weaker position when the war broke out. Before the Opium Wars, Anglo-Chinese trade relations had long existed. Britain relied heavily on imports of tea, silk, and porcelain from China. China was hardly interested in purchasing British products. Britain was forced to pay for imports in silver, creating a large trade deficit. To cover the deficit, British companies and merchants encouraged the export of opium from India to China. Opium then became widely consumed in China. Opium consumption led to mass addiction. According to King official, this led to moral decay. Opium also triggered serious social problems in Chinese society. The Qing government recognized the detrimental effect of opium on society and strictly prohibited the trade and use of opium in China. An official named Lin Zexu was appointed to lead a major opium eradication campaign. Lin Zexu wrote a letter of protest to the Queen of England against the opium trade. He confiscated and destroyed opium supplies belonging to foreign merchants and the port of Canton and demonstrate that the Chinese government was no longer willing to allow the opium trade to continue. The Opium Wars were an extreme example of the abuse of economic and military power to maintain a destructive trade. The British government and merchants used the slogan of freedom of trade to disguise their own economic interests. What Britain was really defending was the right to sell opium, a highly addictive substance, for financial gain. As a result, millions of Chinese suffered from opium addiction and various social breakdowns within families and communities. The Qing dynasty actually wanted to protect its people from opium. However, the king was weak internally, corruption, a slow bureaucracy, and a resistance to modernization. Because of this internal weakness, the king struggled to resist military and political pressure from Britain and other Western powers. The implications for the present are profound, especially when we consider the relationship between drugs, the global economy, and political power. This work demonstrates that the use of addictive substances as a trade commodity, the economic inequality between countries in the core and periphery, and the pressure of powerful nations on weaker ones have been ongoing since the 9th century, long before the terms war on drugs or globalization appear in modern discourse. In other words, the pattern of exploitation through the trade of dangerous goods and the inequities in the international trade system have a long historical roots. In contemporary international politics, terms like unequal treaties and foreign interference are still frequently used to describe situations where a country feels forced in agreements that are detrimental to it. Many commentators and politicians use the Opium Wars as a classic example of how seemingly legitimate agreements can actually usurp sovereignty. For example, when tariff, market access, or territorial concession are determined without equal bargaining power. China's traumatic experience during the Opium Wars has become an emotional and historical reference point as the country negotiates new treaties, reject external invitation, or criticizes double standard in the world order. Understanding the history of the Opium Wars also helps us be more critical of the narrative of free trade and modernization, often promoted as universal solution. Behind these positive terms, the economic interests of a handful of countries or large corporations often lurk, reaping the greatest benefits while people in less developed countries bear the social, environmental, and political costs. Examining how opium was once forced into the Chinese market in the name of free trade prompts us to ask in today's development and investment project who really benefits and who pays the long-term price. In this sense, the Opium Wars are not merely a story of the past but a mirror for examining patterns of injustice that continue to recur in modern international relations. In this conclusion, the Opium Wars are not simply a story of conflict between Britain and China, but a vivid illustration of how economic interest, military power, and colonial ideology could combine to destroy the lives of millions. This event left lasting scars on China and has shaped how the country views sovereignty, foreign intervention, and its position in the international community to this day. By understanding this history, it's hoped that we will be more sensitive to various forms of global injustice and more cautious about blindly accepting narrative of free trade, international cooperation, and modernization that may only benefit a select few. Thank you for listening to this podcast until end and see you later. Bye bye.